Good afternoon, everyone. We're joined by Huntsville City FC head coach Jack Collison. Jack, undefeated start to the season, 3-game unbeaten streak dating back to the end of last season. How's the mood of the guys in training this week leading up to a big match on Saturday?
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of this group this year. Looking on the board this morning, we've got 7 players injured at the moment, and probably 7 players who'd be in the team or in and around it starting. And what it has done is given opportunities to some of the slightly younger boys, some players who maybe thought they were going to be in and around the fringes, and just the way they've grasped the opportunity, the amount of work they're putting day in, day out. I'm just so proud of them, and if they continue in that vein, look, they're going to make mistakes. We're probably going to lose games at some point, but if they continue with that work rate and that ethic, I think it's going to be a really good season this year. And obviously going into the game this week, Eastern champions twice in a row, and obviously won it 2 years ago. We know it's going to be a real good challenge against Columbus, but from what we've seen in the first 2 games, it fills us with a lot of hope moving forward.
What does that say about so many injuries, about that next man up mentality and the depth of your squad early this season?
Yeah, it's a big thing we speak about openly with a group, and I think there's 2 parts for it. One, these guys have always got to be ready to step up and take their chance, and then the second piece is what an incredible job the academy are doing down in Nashville to be able to churn these players out who are not just here for the numbers but playing big minutes and playing such a vital role within the group. So kudos to them guys down there, and hopefully this conveyor belt will long continue. And for us, we're really excited to continue the good work, but also excited over these coming weeks and months to welcome back some really exciting prospects who will hopefully add even more to the group.
Moving on to this weekend's match, the 2-time reigning Eastern Conference champs, Columbus Crew 2. What have you seen from them so far in this 3rd iteration of them, and what do you guys look to maybe potentially exploit in the match on Saturday?
I'll be honest, I think they're probably my favourite team to watch in the entire MLS NEXT Pro, obviously other than us. The way they play, the way they approach the game, and also the ability of their young players. They're a real fun group and a fun team, and obviously transition, great to see Laurent obviously take the step from MLS NEXT Pro to MLS and doing such a great job there, and now obviously Kelvin's in the hot seat there and continuing a lot of the good work that's gone on. So for us, we know it's going to be a challenge, but it's the challenges we crave, it's the challenges we enjoy. And I spoke a lot about this hard work, but for these guys now, it's about taking that hard work and all the work they've done in training throughout the week to bring it all together on a match day. And for me, there's no better environment or venue to do it than at the Joe in front of a packed stadium, 7 o'clock on a Sunday where the sun's going to be shining still. So we're going into the game with a lot of hope and obviously a lot of excitement around it as well.
Familiar face on the other sideline, Chris Pearson.
Yeah.
First time a former boy in blue is facing up against us. What is that like when you face like a player you've coached before, or a familiar face on the other sideline?
Yeah.
When you see them and get to play against them.
Hopefully the fans can give him a little bit of stick, which would be great. No, Chris made a good impact down here. We enjoyed working with him, and unfortunately didn't work out for this season, but the role he's playing is slightly different to how he played here, a little bit more defensive and then coming into midfield to try and get on the ball and be part of their build. So obviously being aware of his strengths, it gives us an added edge, I think, going into the game.
Simon, you have any questions?
Yeah, this is a genuinely honest question. You play these practice sets on this shrunk field. What are you allowed to do with that format? And how does that hone some certain skills? And specifically for today's drills, what were you specifically looking to work on? Yeah,
there was sort of 2 main parts for it. Obviously last week dominating large parts of the game with the ball and struggling a little bit in the final third. So a big focus this week is being a little bit more dangerous and aggressive in the attacking areas, trying to create overloads when we do manage to switch the ball from one side to the other. And then the second part, a bit more of a focus towards the end about us continuing to be compact and dominate defensively, because we haven't given up too much in open play so far this year. It's been a real sort of step in the right direction, I'd say, from last year to this year. And obviously as a match day -2, trying to condense the pitch slightly, it just allows us to manage the load physically for the guys. So they keep that freshness and sharpness, but obviously within that, the key principles and their jobs and roles and responsibilities don't really change from today to how they would look on a match day.
I think too, we're still early enough in the year where you can work on you as opposed to focusing so hard on an opponent's scout. What are some of the benefits of that in this early going, especially for a young group like this?
Yeah, I think that's a massive part of what we do. I think we are very diligent in terms of our scouting reports and how much respect and time we put into the opposition and what they're going to bring. But with a young group of high potential players, I think the focus always needs to be on us and what we can do. Any ways we drip feed bits in, for example, we do a lot of work setting one team up, maybe how the opposition might look or how they might play, and then it's for them to be able to try and transfer these messages. But within that, it's only small tweaks. Big focus is on us and how we can hurt teams, how we can be aggressive, how we can dominate with and without the ball, and hopefully we'll see it transfer this weekend.
Joel Sangwa is going to be featured here in just a short moments. Got his first goal last week. Just 2 games into his career here, coming out of the college ranks. What have you liked from him, especially being able to, put a crooked number on the scoreboard last week? Yeah,
no, it's great. We work very hard on set pieces, so credit to Zach Herald, the assistant coach who does the attacking stuff, and obviously for Joel to come in and have such a big impact on and off the pitch. On the pitch, you can see that he's got a lot of ability, can play right foot, left centre-back, right centre-back, also as a full-back. And I think for him having that flexibility, you'll see him feature all across the back 4 or the back 3, whatever we play this year. And then in and around that, his character's phenomenal. Being a slightly older player, obviously going through the college system, you see how he is around the young players and how he's just a good influence. And if you've got good older guys like that who set the standards day in, day out, not only is he going to get better and improve and maximise what he's got, the young players around it see that and thrive off that and understand that's the expectations.
And Kessie's good.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think he's going to be featured a bit this week. So
yeah.
What do you like out of him, especially because he'll be seeing some increased minutes over the next few weeks?
Yeah, I think for Kessie there was such a big excitement to get him through the door. Obviously, credit to the scouting department for identifying him, for flying all the way out to Dubai to watch him in games and decide that he's our man. And another one who come in and made a real big impact early on in pre-season, and unfortunately injuries are part and parcel of the game, so he's been frustrated to obviously pick up a knock so early in his Huntsville career, but he's getting there, he's fit, he's not quite ready to play a full game yet, but hopefully over these next couple of weeks you'll see him filtered in, and hopefully within the next sort of month, 6 weeks, we're going to see Kessie and all his ability and what he's going to bring to the party.
Awesome.
All right, we're now joined by Huntsville City FC defender Joel Sangwa. Joel, 2 weeks into the season, been with the team through the preseason. How have you acclimated to Huntsville and to the team?
Well, since I've been here at Huntsville, I mean, it's been a really long one, honestly. When I got here, everybody was nice. When we got here, I could already see the coach's point of view on how he wanted us to be like. Coming from a college, it was a little bit different, honestly. And I think the preseason was really good. Honestly, I felt like we just kept getting better. I know it's a new group. I'm one of the new players, so I mean, it's been pretty good up to now, I would say. So.
Now we're through 2 weeks, big match this weekend. Two-time reigning Eastern Conference champs, Columbus Crew 2. What have you seen from them so far in film, and what do you guys hope to do to try to, be able to pick up 3 points against a tough Columbus team?
Honestly, speaking to the guys that played last year against them, they know that it's a pretty good team. We're super excited to play them. And the preparation, you can see from the guys as soon as we got back, our mind was already focused onto the next game, So we were game ready, and preparation is going to be a lot. Not saying it's going to be easy, but it's going to be fun, and felt like we're preparing towards that game, and we look pretty good. So.
You've had 2 really young center backs as your center back pairing with Chris Applewhite and Scott Cheevers, both young academy guys. As one of the older guys on the team, how have you, made sure their youthfulness and make sure they keep going if they make a mistake, or you keep that partnership together? Well,
first of all, they make me feel really old, to be honest. The second thing is I like the mindset of the growth that they have in a game of even when you give them instructions, they're ready to listen to it, and they're really active. And for me as a job, I feel like I need to organize this backline, and I got players that can do it, and I felt like they're ready to step into where if you give them instructions, they're just ready to do it. And I mean, they're pretty good, honestly, and even I wouldn't say that they are young. If you don't know their age, you wouldn't know that they're pretty young just because of how they play, But overall, I guess they've stepped in really well in the positions.
What's your goal for yourself, both this season and maybe in the future with Huntsville or even bigger dreams?
Yeah, my goal is always to get better, honestly. I always look at where I am at this point and how I can get better every single day, because in a long process you won't see how you improve, so I try to make the short-term goals and try to achieve like 1% every day. So for me, just keep getting better, try to get a higher level as possible. I mean, where I am right now is pretty high, but I still want to go higher, and I would say it's only I have to take it one day at a time, so it's like everyday practice, every time, just got to keep improving.
Simon?
Getting a goal in your second game here in Huntsville, that's got to be feeling pretty good, right?
Oh,
to make an instant impact like that. Walk me through that play, and then how it feels for you to arrive and really meet that moment.
Well, first thing is our coaches told us they want us to be one of the best teams on set pieces, and we really focus on working on that. And working in the set pieces, like we try to replicate the same thing in the games, because that's what we train for. And in that moment, I know it was pretty early, but we are trying to do this one play that we did where we're trying to get like some guys open, but as soon as I saw the ball, I was like, hey, I'm going for it. And like I scored a goal, and I was pretty happy, honestly. And in the start of the season, for you scoring an early goal is more like, okay, how do we manage now the game, But that's how the game is, and I mean, I'm overwhelmed by the goal, and hopefully I can score more goals and keep helping the team, and just super excited, honestly.
Yeah. So you were just at Akron. You're taking on the guys from Columbus this week. A little bit of Ohio back in your background as well.
Yeah.
You're familiar with the soccer culture up there. It's always a big deal taking on that franchise. We know they're really solid and have been in this level. What's a win this week early in the season going to be like against Columbus? To
be honest with you, I think they are a pretty good team, like I mentioned earlier. Playing in Ohio, I mean, I could tell, like when we played a few teams over there, and you could see how confident they play, and how, like you can see from the first team to the second team what they're looking for. So for us playing them, first of all, super excited to even get this opportunity to even play against them. And I just feel like if we can get a win, I mean, that's what we're all striving for. If we can get a win, it can really give us that confidence of like, okay, yes, we can keep going. And so far we've played 2 games. I mean, not the result that we wanted, but hopefully this game will be the one for us. And then we can kind of take a step off from this one and just keep going. There's a lot of games, but one step at a time.
Absolutely. Okay.